Are you curious about bodies, pleasure, and possibilities? And what about curious about what others are up to on the planet when it comes to pleasure, sex, and play? Have you considered what pleasure can do for your life, your body, and your bank account? Do you know something magical, delightful, and out of this world orgasmic is not only possible for you, but totally available to you? If you're ready to be the magical, sexual, sexy beast you know you can be, and you just need the tools to get there, you're in the right place. Now, here's the host of The Pleasure Zone, sensual movement artist, relationship and sex alchemist, Milica Jelenic.
Welcome, my sweet pleasure seekers. For those of you who are joining me tonight for a sensory experience, I'm very excited to have you here. It's been a few years since I've done an episode that was a fully guided sensory experience, so there won't be a lot of chitter chatter other than sit back, relax, and have a good time. For those of you who are brand new to this show, usually on my shows, what I do is I discuss things that are from a historical or psychological, physiological, all things to do with spirituality. That is that involved too, to do with bodies, sexuality, pleasure. And this is no different. This is just going to be a guided experience. One of the reasons I'm doing this show tonight is because I have had a number of people in the last little while who have had a hard time knowing how to be with their bodies. And I found that I was redirecting them to some episodes that I did 10 years ago. And those episodes I felt could be improved upon. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be playing with the 5 basic senses, and we're going to be going through each one of those to enhance them and to be able to experience them with your body. One of the first things that we're going to do is just acknowledge that you have 5 senses. So sight, taste, smell, touch, hearing, sight, taste, smell, touch, and hearing. Those 5 main ones. Then we have some extra ones as well, which we're not going to be talking about tonight, but we are going to tap into those 5 senses. So acknowledging those parts of our body first that we have, start with sight with, and if you are hard of sight, then just acknowledge that you have sight in another way. So if any of the senses that you have in your body are diminished in any way, if you're hard of sight or hard of hearing, or if you have lack of taste buds, which I know quite a few people have that, or lack of smell, olfactory, any one of these, just know that you experience them in a different way. So it's not that you can't experience them. So I just want to put that out there too. And we're going to acknowledge the parts of those parts of the body that do experience those things. So as much as we see with our eyes, we also technically we see with our brain. So we're going to acknowledge that. We're also going to acknowledge that we hear with our ears and we hear with our brain, as well as that we smell with our nose and a bunch of receptors also that go to our brain, as well as we taste with our tongue, but we also taste with our brains. Our brain's highly involved in this, as well as when we touch with all of basically our skin as our touch system. Everywhere and anywhere on our skin is a touch system. And the little hairs on our skin are part of our touch system, as well as the connection that makes to our brain. So I think there is a body part that we are connecting with ultimately, is that we're connecting to our brain, which is all of our nervous system. So in doing these exercises tonight, you're going to probably find a sense of relaxation with your body. And as your body relaxes, it can also and always get to a place of feeling comfortable. And as you start to feel comfortable, you can actually feel turned on. Turn on comes when we are relaxed, at ease, in a place where we feel comfortable and safe. So even when you're doing play that might be maybe more in the kink arena, where there's dom play involved and sub play involved, even then there's a feeling of safety that you can show up and be totally you. So this relaxation for your entire body through sensory delight is going to happen tonight. And as we go through the different senses, just be really present with your body. And it may feel like a slow and strange episode for the episodes that I usually do. So bear with it, enjoy it. And if you are driving, don't follow along. Wait until you get home and you're not driving, because driving to this episode won't be the best if you're actually trying to follow through or, operating heavy machinery. Just put me on in the background and don't pay too much attention. That is a warning. So I'm putting the warning out there for safety reasons. So any kind of meditation or relaxation stuff should be done when you're not operating any machinery or vehicles. All right, so let's first take some deep breaths, bringing the breath in through your nose. And then just for 5, 3, 4, 5, and then out through your mouth for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue that in for 5 and out for 5, breathing. And as you do that, just start to notice any and all sensations that you have in your space right now. What does your skin feel like? What temperature? Is it cool? Is it warm? Is there moisture in the air? Is it dry? What does your environment feel like around you that your body is experiencing? What do you smell? Is there a smell in the air? Does it smell like home? Does it smell like food? Does it smell like incense or candles burning? What do you smell? Get really tuned into the smells that are around you, the sensations you're feeling. You can have your eyes open or closed so that you can look around you and see what's in the room. Just becoming really familiar with everything that's in your surroundings. Notice that when you're breathing in and out, whether you're smelling something different and whether there's any tastes that are coming through. As you might notice that your mouth, as you're breathing in through your nose, might pick up some tastes as well. And listen for any sounds, smallest little sounds, even if it's the sound of your computer humming or your cell phone giving you little reminder dings, or even if it's just the sound of quiet and stillness. Maybe you're somewhere where you can hear all the animals outside. Maybe there are birds chirping, and maybe you're living in a city where you're hearing a lot of white noise in the background, like vehicles. Whatever it is that you're hearing, just being aware of that and noticing that these things are all external. These are all things that are proprioceptive, all these things that are outside of you, the smells, all of the things that are the things that you're feeling, like the hot and the cold, that sensory experience, that's all external. Any of the things that you're bringing in as flavors through your sense of smell and then tasting, and all the things you're seeing are also external. We're going to become incredibly aware of the external. And as you become more and more aware of what's going on the outside, your body may reach for understanding more, even deeper, further on the outside, but we're going to try and maintain it within this space of wherever you are, whether it's a room or if you're outside when you're listening to this, then keeping it within about a 20 square feet circumference of you, being highly acutely aware of of the senses that are going on within a small area, all the senses that you're experiencing, the things that you're seeing, tasting, smelling, touching, feeling, all of it. It's all close to you. And if you are outside, maybe you're noticing there's, butterflies landing on you, or maybe there's some kind of moisture in the air, like raindrops falling on you. So once you can be aware of everything that's outside of you, then you know that that is all just things that are influencing your experience. They're not actually you. They're not yours. They're just things that are going on that influence you. And we're going to note them as that and thank them for being there to influence you, whether it's to influence how you feel, to maybe they're inspiring you to do things like create or get up and move or organize or whatever it happens to be. This external environment is just there. It's just an influence. It's not actually you. And as we take some breaths in deeper, we're going to breathe in for 5 again, out for 5. And then on the next breath, you're going to breathe in and out. And we're going to do quick breaths. And only do this if you are not pregnant and if you don't have any heart conditions or anxiety, unless you're doing this with somebody who's guiding you. So you can do deeper breaths just to notice how your body starts to respond to your breath. So you're going to breathe in for 2, out for 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then just notice how your body is responding to that new breath. Does it like that breath? Does it like more of a hyperventilation going on? Does it bring an excitement? Does that breath change any smells? Does it change anything you're hearing or tasting or feeling in your body? Your breath can impact a lot of that. And then we're going to find a breath that's somewhere in between hyperventilation and normal breath. And it may be normal breath or even extended breath to 8 seconds. And breathe at a pace where your body starts to feel a sense of elation. So if it is hyperventilation, in for 1 or 2 seconds and out for 1 or 2 seconds, cool, go for that. Only if you're not pregnant and if you don't have a heart condition or anxiety attacks. Otherwise, breathe in a little bit deeper. Breathe in for 5, 6, 7, 8, and then out for 5, 6, 7, 8. In and then out. So find the breath, and for everybody it may be different. So I'm just encouraging you to play with the breath. Play with that in for 2 and out for 2. See how that feels. In for 5, out for 5, in for 8, out for 8. And find that comfortable breath that has your body start to feel both relaxed and turned on at the same time. And maybe it's even deeper than 8. It could be 10. And get really deeply into the relaxation of your body and the excitement, which can be a bit of a dichotomy, and that's okay. So we just play with the breath, and you might play with variants where you're going in for 2, out for 2, and then in for 8, out for 8, and then in for 5, out for 5. So you might play around with it too. There isn't really a formula to this because everybody's breath will be different when their body is relaxed and turned on. For some people, they need a variation and they need breath holds as well. We're not going to get into that right now. Continue with your breath. And while you're doing that, notice again that everything that's outside of you, all the things that you can see with your eyes, all the things you can hear that are outside of your body, all the things that you're smelling and tasting, and anything that you're experiencing sensually with your body right now is all external. And the things that are aggravating you or bothering you in any way, that are anything that is the opposite of peace, that's outside of you, And most of those things are going to be outside of you. Worries, concerns, things that need to be put off till another day, another time, things that you have no control over that are outside of you that could be influencing any sense of peace. Just notice them and notice and remind yourself that they're outside of you. They're outside of your body. They're outside of your being. So they're not yours. And just continue that breath. We're going to head to our first commercial break. And when we return, we're going to continue the breath and we're going to experience sight and taste and sound and touch all in a different way. So please do come back and continue your breath while we head to our commercial break. You're listening to The Pleasure Zone here on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back after this commercial.
Are you secretly a voyeur, wondering what's going on in other people's sex lives? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual evolution? Are you interested in people who are pioneers of different sexual and pleasurable practices? Lean in now with Milica Jelenic, where she will entice you and your body to know your own pleasure zone. On the Pleasure Zone radio show with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is The Pleasure Zone with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email, info@milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my sweet pleasure seekers. For those of you who have been practicing the breathing and awareness of space since the last break, thank you for sticking around. So just continue to keep breathing in the fashion that has your body both relaxed and turned on, which is such an invitation to your body to be able to know that it has the capacity to be turned on and that it's safe to be turned on. And turn on means so many things to your body, so many things even beyond being turned on for sex. It's turned on for life, turned on to be alive and to be excited to be alive and whatever that brings. So it doesn't even have to be something that you go off and end up having sex after, no, or masturbate after. No, you don't have to. You can just be turned on for the sake of being turned on. What a fabulous idea. And by all means, you can go off and have fun with that. So I hope your breathing is delightful right now and that your body is feeling connected. Notice that your touch too to the environment, whether you're sitting or lying down, you are going to be touching with your feet. Perhaps they're touching socks or slippers or shoes that you're wearing, and maybe those are connecting to the earth, and maybe your feet are connecting directly to the ground barefoot. Just noticing how and where every part of your body is touching things. Are you sitting in a chair and your bottom and your back are touching the back of the chair? Maybe you're lying in bed. Maybe you're lying in bed naked. with your entire body exposed. And I hope that some of you are, because what a delightful way to be. So if you do feel comfortable with that, get in the most comfortable position for you, whether you're sitting or lying down, as much or as little clothes as you want on, and be with your breath, whether that's in for two and out for two, getting your body to be excited. And then if you are doing in for two and out for two, after a few minutes, do a little bit of a hold where you just breathe in, hold for about 15 to 30 seconds, and then breathe out. And then go back and find a new pace, whether that's a 5-5 breathing or an 8-8 breathing, or whether you're doing an in that's shorter than your out. But I would encourage you to find another pace if you've been doing that 2-2 breathing for the last few minutes, so that your hyperventilation doesn't go too far, unless you're being monitored. And if you ever would like to be monitored for that, just let me know. We can always set up a session. So getting into the breath, I'm going to be doing an 8-8 breath. So in for 8, out for 8. And as I do that, I'm going to notice and touch with my hands. And if you have where maybe you've had amputation and you don't have hands and you happen to have feet, use your feet. If you happen to have none of that, but you have other parts of your body, find the way that you can use touch. So everybody can be included in this experience. So using one body part to connect to another body part. And let's start with the least obvious parts of the body. Let's start with the part of the body that has maybe a little aching in it. Maybe you've been walking around a lot and your knees are feeling a little bit tense or throbbing. You put your hands there, or maybe your lower back, and you can put your hands there. And we're going to start with those sore spots, connecting your hands through touch, and find with your breath in. So I'm doing in for 8, out for 8. Find with your breath a connection and a movement. So for me, I'm going to do circular motions on my knees and just rub them. You can go skin on skin, or you can go through your clothes if you have something that you're wearing, and you can just rub in circular motions. I'm going clockwise because that's the energy that feels light and easier to move right now, but you can go in any direction that you like. Just connect and breathe. And you might notice that there's a little bit of heat in the areas that feel maybe that there was pain or swelling or any kind of inflammation. You might notice a little heat rising. And this is just some circulation coming in, blood flow coming in, as well as in energy speak. It's, we're getting the energy moving too. And keep that rotation, that movement, that touch going for as long as your body enjoys it. Now, you could be doing this for a while and it may be peculiar, but at some point your body will feel so relaxed that even rubbing something as benign as your kneecap could actually get your body to start to feel aroused. So it doesn't have to be your genitals always, guys. It can be any part of your body. It's that you're making connection, you're being present, and you're allowing for touch that is safe for you because there's no expectation of orgasm, or all you're doing is touching for the sake of connection and for touch, just for the sake of touch. So you might notice that as you're doing that, that some of the stress or pain leaves your body. And when stress and pain leave your body, what starts to happen is there's room for pleasure. So pleasure comes in. And then all of a sudden, your body might ask or notice, you might notice that your hands move. They might move down your shins. They might start to rub your shins. They might rub your feet. Your hands might wander. They might go up your thighs. They might go right up your thighs right onto your buttocks. They might find their way to your genitals. They might find their way to your belly. You know, if you're really just allowing your hands to follow wherever they want to go, they're going to show you all kinds of places that are looking for attention and love, and that are looking for more and more energy to be moved and more pleasure. And you might find them some of the most strange and interesting pleasurable spaces. You know, you might just be lingering around your rib cage and go, wow, that's delightful. So just find those spots where your body is excited to be touched, to be nurtured, to be having that experience of love with you, that love language of touch coming through your own hands to love your own body. And you might notice that you even want to go and have your shoulders touched or your back touched. And if you can't reach certain parts of your body, you you can always try and use something like a towel just so you can have a point of connection. You can lean up against something. Or if you happen to have a partner around, you can always invite your partner to come in after to touch those parts that you missed. But I would say start this with you first. Just touch every part of your body, especially the parts that haven't been touched in a really long time. Those parts that even when you go to have a shower, you might just wash quickly because you're just doing the job and getting everything clean. And today, maybe putting your hand on the back of your neck and just resting it there gently is going to be absolutely delightful for your body. And allowing your hands to move as they want to, maybe moving through your hair, resting on your head, maybe moving across your face. And there may be parts of your body that you normally think you don't like touched, but today it's your own touch, and maybe it's okay because it's you and it's not somebody else doing it. And you will only touch the parts of you that you feel comfortable with. So allow your body to receive all of the experience from you, noticing all those touch point connections that are you gifting to you, which is a different sensory experience than you receiving from your external environment. This is you gifting to you, breathing in a rhythmic way that your body is feeling relaxed. For me, it's the 8, in for 8, out for 8. Your body feels relaxed, and all it wants to do is have your hands wandering, sometimes just finding a spot and lingering and just enjoying everything that it's feeling, the heat, all the different tingling sensations that maybe you're invoking in your body through touch. You might feel like, wow, I just want to keep doing this touch thing. I encourage you to just for now, as much as it feels sometimes irresistible to just keep on touching yourself, we're going to add in some senses. And for now, we're going to put touch aside. So if you can, I dare you to keep your hands to the side, keep your hands to yourself. And we are going to go and work on the next sense, which is this. We're going to work the next sense, which is going to be hearing. So listening to your body. Listen to your own breath going in for 8 and out for 8. Listen to any of the little noises. Maybe your tummy's gurgling. Maybe there's a sound of saliva in your mouth. Maybe you can hear different noises in your own brain. Maybe you have the little noises of your hair moving around. Maybe there's something internal that you can hear and sense, and you're really looking to notice what's external and let it be, and come internal through breath, through the 8-8 or the 5-5 breath work, breathing in and out and just noticing any sounds in your body. and noticing any things that your body is saying to you. Bodies speak in mysterious and interesting ways. Sometimes they speak through pain or delight, and they often speak through all of the senses, and they sometimes actually speak very clearly through words, like, do this. Sometimes they get demanding. So follow whatever it is and however it is that your body is speaking to you, and listen to it. Maybe your body is asking for you to hum or make a noise so that it can resonate at a different frequency. So you do that in your own way. And you can make those humming noises or sounds going into some deep sounds so you can hear your own voice. There may be parts of your body that when you're listening to it, you may hear a sound that's coming from your heart, and you might find that your heart has a cry in there, and that's okay to just let that be and let that out. Because the more we let out the pain, the more we can make room for the pleasure, and the more that we can have that relaxation coming into the body, the more even something like letting go of tears can actually bring a lot of pleasure to your body. So listen to your body. Is it asking for a noise? Maybe it just wants to yell. Maybe it's frustrated. Maybe it wants to cry. Maybe it wants to laugh. So during this next commercial break, I encourage you to go and make that sound. Whether you need to go outside or if you're in your car listening to this and you're in a parking lot, just make that sound, whether it's like, ah. I'm not going to be really loud on the recording for you guys, or maybe it is the sound of weeping, like, just let your body do that. Let your body let that sound out so that you can hear you and hear that frequency of what your body is saying, because your body will make noise and it will talk and it will say things. So let it do that. We're going to head to our next commercial break, and you go let your body make sound. So as you do that, remember to keep your breathing when you come back out of the sound, and we will come back after this commercial break. You're listening to The Pleasure Zone here on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back after this commercial.
Are you secretly a voyeur, wondering what's going on in other people's sex lives? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual evolution? Are you interested in people who are pioneers of different sexual and pleasurable practices? Lean in now with Milica Jelenic, where she will entice you and your body to know your own pleasure zone. On the Pleasure Zone radio show with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Interested in masturbating for money, copulating for consciousness, and pleasuring on purpose? 21 Days of Sexual Magicism with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic is an exploration of tools, processes, and actions that you can use to create more for your life, your body, your money inflows, and so much more. Graduated learning for all levels of interest. Learn at your own pace via video classes or join the yearly live class. Take a peek at www.milicajelenic.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Pleasure Zone with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email, info@milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my sweet pleasure seekers. I really hope that you've been enjoying listening to your body and the sounds that it's making. Maybe it's moaning in pleasure. Maybe it is crying to let go of any stress or pain or anything like that. And your body is talking. And the more that it can be expressive and that you can listen to that and hear it, truly hear what your body is saying, your body will be grateful to you. And if your body still has more sound to make, I understand that there are lifetimes of sounds that we have repressed and suppressed. And if you need to know how to let those sounds out, if you feel really repressed and suppressed and you feel like you need to have more of that, just connect with me so I can bring you through that personally. And we're going to move on to the next sense. So we're going to move from being able to listen to our bodies to now we're going to use the sense of taste, which may bring up a lot of different judgments because many times we've been told not to stick our tongues on things. Definitely don't put your fingers in your mouth. Definitely don't lick people. You know, that's a lot of germs on things. So this whole experience of licking may take a bit of time to be able to get accustomed to. So we're going to start really slow and simple, and then if you want to take it further, go for it. So with the experience of licking, find a part of your body that if you go to taste it, you won't feel particularly weird. And if there is no part of your body that you would feel particularly weird about, lick your lips, because you've already done that many times in your life and not realized it. So we can start there. First, start with just bringing your tongue out and licking your lips, checking out, do your top lips taste different than your bottom lips? And just notice, is it okay if you lick your lips? Is it okay to lick any other part of your body? And it might only be okay to lick your lips, and that's okay too, until you feel a little bit more comfortable. If you've never licked your fingers, then I encourage you to either wash your hands first if you feel more comfortable with that. Have a shower if you feel like you need to have a shower and get clean before licking any of your body. That's totally fine. And if you feel clean or if it doesn't bother you, fantastic. You can move on and lick a part of your, maybe just your pointer finger, and just see what does it taste like. And maybe you want to lick it with something on it. So if you happen to have some things around, maybe you've got, I don't know, maybe something yummy like jam, and you just want to put your finger in some strawberry jam and lick it up, just to see what that tastes like. And get used to being able to have your body parts in your mouth and have it taste okay. And if you need to have something on your body to do that, that's okay. And then at some point, you'll be able to actually stick your finger in your mouth and be okay with it without having anything on there. And if you're already there and you're good with licking your finger, you can put your finger all the way in your mouth, or you can stroke your finger with your tongue the way that maybe if you're giving oral sex to your lover, that you would do that to their genitals. You can do that to your own fingers and just see, what does it feel like to taste your finger and have that sensory touch experience with your tongue to your body parts, because that is touch as well, but it's also tasting at the same time. So licking your finger all the way from the bottom, all the way to the tip, and it might tickle, and you might not even notice the taste at first because you've never licked your finger in that way before, and it's a little erotic and fun and playful, and all you were thinking about is how silly and fun that was, and all you just want to do is do that again because, wow, what a turn on. That feels like you're about to give oral and it's exciting. Maybe. So then try again, and then just take your time and be present and lick and notice any, maybe there's saltiness, maybe something you ate earlier today had a really strong flavor to it and you're tasting that again. So just take the time to actually enjoy your tongue licking either your finger or your hand. Maybe it's the palm of your hand, which is a really erogenous zone. Actually, I think the whole body is an erogenous zone. So pick a spot, especially a spot that you feel both comfortable with at first and maybe one that you have experienced some licking. Maybe somebody else has licked it before and you're okay with it. And then move on to some parts that maybe you're having a little bit of a hard time thinking about. Like if you were to stick your finger in or on your vulva and then taste your own juices, are you okay with that? Or is that a little awkward for you? That might be too much for you right now. So what you might do is you might want to, depending on how flexible you are, is you could lick a part of your elbow. Well, it's very hard to lick your elbow, but the inside bend of your elbow, or maybe you can lick your own underarm. There are lots of parts of the body you could lick your knee, any part that you can reach. And the parts that you can't reach, you can put your hands on and say your underarm and touch your underarm to gather up any of your scent and flavor, and absolutely go ahead. It's your body. You can lick it. So you can, if you're a baby, you can lick your own elbow, but otherwise you can't. So if you want to lick your own, if you want to experience what it tastes like to taste your own genitals, then you can absolutely put your hand on your genitals and then lick that and see what that's like. This is your own body that you're gifting this sensory experience to. So all these other smells and tastes and sounds that are external, those are external. Those are all things that are going on outside of you. You gifting to your own body, whether you're tasting yourself or smelling yourself, touching yourself, listening to yourself, all of those, and looking at yourself, all of those are a gift for you to give to your body. And you might feel that the more you're actually touching yourself, the more that your body relaxes, and then it can start to be able to listen better. And then you can lick your body and you're feeling a little bit better about that too. And then we move on to being able to smell our own bodies. And if you'd rather smell your body before you lick it, that's fine. There's no rule here on that. So if you might notice that, like, if you smell your hand, you can just start with smelling the tips of your fingers. You can smell all the way up your arm, just enjoying the scent. So breathing in for 8 and out for 8 as you move your nose up and down your body, noticing the scent of all the parts that you can actually get to be able to smell. You know, if you can smell your own underarms, fantastic. Smell away. If you can smell your own legs and your own anything that you can actually smell in your own body. And the parts, again, that you can't smell, you can always use your hand to touch to smell. You can put your hand on your genitals to gather the scent and smell that. And just notice what smells your body is comfortable with and which ones it's judging, because you'll know that if you are judging those parts of your body, you're not relaxed. Any part of your body that you're judging, you're not actually able to be present with, and you're not loving it. You're not able to have a relationship with it because you've judged it. It's now usually probably strange or weird. So we want to just move past anywhere that you're making your body wrong And we want to be able to come into a place where your body feels loved, adored, admired by you first, and then inviting a lover or lovers in to enjoy your body is going to be so much easier and so fun. So really enjoy the scent of your body. And you can change up the scent of your body if you want to with different things. Having a bubble bath while you do this so that all you smell is the scent of the bubble bath. You can, do things intentionally so that you can smell your own pheromones. Get yourself sweaty and see what that feels like. Do you really enjoy the smell of your own pheromones? I do. I love the smell of my own pheromones, and I had to really work on that for a really long time because I judged my pheromones harshly. And now I'm like, ooh, they smell good. I like those pheromones. They are strong and real, and they are fantastic for me. I love them. So if you love your own pheromones, it'll make you a lot more relaxed around partners, lovers, when they go to smell your body. You won't, if they don't like it, that's their thing and their connection to you. But if you feel good and comfortable in your own body, that's the most important part of being relaxed with a lover. So go and enjoy that. And we're going to talk about more senses when we come back. You're listening to The Pleasure Zone here on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back after this commercial.
Are you secretly a voyeur, wondering what's going on in other people's sex lives? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual evolution? Are you interested in people who are pioneers of different sexual and pleasurable practices? Lean in now with Milica Jelenic, where she will entice you and your body to know your own pleasure zone. On the Pleasure Zone radio show with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for the Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is the Pleasure Zone with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email, info@MilicaJelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my sweet pleasure seekers. I really hope you guys are enjoying feeling your body, touching your body, smelling your body, listening to your body, tasting your body. And now we're going to really enjoy what we see when we look at our bodies. And I have left looking at our bodies to the very last because usually it is the one where we have the most critiques, the most judgments, that we see ourselves in the most offensive ways. And this is the one that we have the most work to do on. So we're going to start with looking at ourselves, the things that you can visually see without a mirror, and we will add a mirror if necessary. Starting with looking at your body and finding one part of your body that you have either been told is super sexy or that you in your own heart and mind feel that when you look at that, that's sexy. So whatever that happens to be, if you have a sexy round belly and you are so proud of it and you're like, this is my sexy belly and I love it, then that is where you start. And I know I brought that one up on purpose because a lot of people have a lot of judgments about their belly. And there are times where we just need to start loving that more. Maybe you're looking at your hands and thinking, wow, my hands are looking fantastic. My nails look great today. I love them. Fantastic. Enjoy your nails. look at all of these parts of your body, eyes wide open, and then close your eyes and see in your mind, do they actually, when you think about those, say, for example, nails, do they look the same as they do when your eyes are open? So open your eyes, close your eyes, look at these things. If there are parts of your body that you're not sure about, that I can't really see my own butt, but people say that I have a great butt, maybe you need to get up and go look in a mirror. And then remember to keep your breathing, the 8, in for 8, out for 8, or in for 5, out for 5. Keep your breathing going. Look in the mirror, be relaxed. Look at that butt in the mirror and just see, is it as great as everybody says? Is it? And do you feel that that's true for you? The most important part of this is that you feel the truth in that those body parts are super sexy hot. Because no matter what anybody else says, and sometimes we need feedback from people to help us see things in different ways so that we can love ourselves, that's fine, but that is still a critique. And what is it that you feel about you? So when you look in that mirror, what do you think of your butt? Is it super sexy hot? And if it is, remember to breathe in for 8, out for 8, relax into knowing and saying to your body, wow, that's super sexy hot butt you got there. Nice. And then you might look at other parts of your body. Maybe it's your back. I have found in my life that I really love looking at my back in a mirror. I find it super sexy. I will wear things purposefully to show off parts of my back because I find that it's one of my sexiest features. And most people go to their eyes or their legs or something else, but I find my back super sexy. So I like to look at it whenever I need a reminder that, if I'm having an off day and I need to find something sexy to get me going, I will look at my back. And if you have a hard time remembering things, make a list of 10 things that you adore about your body. And then ask yourself, what your favorite lover of all time, whether they're with you still or not, maybe they've passed away, maybe they're not in your life anymore for different reasons, what your favorite lover thinks of your body. 10 different things that they loved about your body, because I bet you there's more than one. Write those down. Know them to be true. Know the ones that you think about yourself are true as well. And make sure that they are all in a form of affirmation that those parts of your body are super sexy, super pleasurable, and super happy, and that they love being adored. Your whole body loves to be adored, and we can move towards that the more we can find different components and parts of ourselves. At first, it may feel very severed, and then eventually it's like you start to realize, oh, there's 10 parts now, there's 20 parts, now there's 50 parts. Now it's every single part of my body, including my internal organs. Damn, they're sexy. Damn, I got a sexy liver. So really looking at yourself, finding truth, your own truth in what you see in the mirror, what you see through other people's eyes in the affirmative as an affirmation to help you see and love yourself, right? People's opinions of you are only helpful when they're actually boosting you, but they're also not necessarily truth. And then you can take what they say and you can either use that for your advantage to help you grow and feel good, but use it from a place of that you believe that that is true for you too. You can take all of these senses and combine them and enjoy your touch and your taste and your smell and all of it all at once, and let your body have this extravaganza of sensory delight and thoroughly enjoy it. And if you can do this for your body more than once a week, think about how happy your body is going to be. And I hope you do that at least once a week. Until then, stay tuned in.
Thank you for listening to The Pleasure Zone. with sensual movement artist Milica Jelenic. The Pleasure Zone returns next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.